Oakland, California crews remove speed bumps, eliminate sideshow deterrent. It's another case of a cash-strapped city removing citizen-installed safety features. Advocates want to know who gave the order. Let's get into it. Here we go. I find it annoying when local government overrides what citizens want to do and then claim, well, it's for safety issues. How about the ridiculous lunatics doing sideshows, as you can see by all the tire markings at this intersection? What about the safety impact there? Don't worry about the speed bump. How about those people running over one another, crashing into stuff, having shootings, all that good stuff, everything that comes with a sideshow event? People just driving their cars super fast in circles, spinning out. Ooh, sign me up. That sounds great. I want to get dizzy. Right? Just ridiculous. Part of an Oakland crew that removed speed bumps in San Antonio before the Memorial Day weekend. San Antonio being south and east of downtown, kind of right next to Fruitvale. It's a community. I had to look that up. I didn't know. Let's watch a little video. Let's just watch a scooch of a video. Here we go.
People in Oakland, fed up with sideshows, did something when the city would not. Neighbors installed their own speed bumps. But now the city says the fix won't fly. NBC shows us why the solution didn't last. Why neighbors are now demanding answers from Oakland.
After years of sideshows in this intersections and complaints to the city, neighbors took it upon themselves to install speed bumps in this area. And it worked. The problem is, the city says that's not allowed and ripped them up.
The city going broke and you guys wasting money on this?
No, you guys did this.
That's video of Oakland Department of Transportation.
Okay, all right, you guys did this illegally, but was it working? So, I get that it's not to code or whatever, but if you are Oakland, you don't have a whole lot of options. So this whole notion of, well, we're going to make it better by eliminating the speed bumps, which were illegal, which now allow the sideshow. This doesn't work, does it? No, it doesn't. Leave the speed bumps.
Homemade speed bumps at East 21st Street and 19th Avenue this week. Neighbors installed them out of desperation 8 months ago.
I don't know. Those look legit, didn't they? What's wrong with them? Other than the fact that, you didn't get a permit for it, but hell, how about all the homeless in Oakland who don't have a permit for their stuff? What about that? Oh, let's just rip up the speed bumps.
8 months ago, after claiming they pled with the city for 4 years to address dangerous sideshows in the area, and nothing was done.
We've had peace for the past 8 months, a hard-won peace. We paid for that peace without labor and money. And then the city overnight took it away without excuse and without notice.
Michael Andemescal and his neighbors spent $3,000 installing.
Unfortunately, from a legal standpoint, I don't think the city has to give a reason or notice. They can basically state, well, this is a safety issue having these speed bumps out in the middle of a major intersection, which we get. You're not supposed to have speed bumps because people aren't speeding through. What is this, a 4-lane road? This is a wide road. This must be a major, major arterial. You're not supposed to have speed bumps on a busy street like that. But out of necessity, I don't blame the citizens at all. I just don't. So you got to drive slow around these speed bumps. Okay. All right. So you drive slow through your neighborhood. Is that all terrible? I got to get to 7-Eleven doing 80. I got to do, 720s before I get to 7-Eleven in my little, whatever rocket.
The speed bumps. It's a DIY project, and Mescal says the city's DOT director verbally approved last year.
He said they were going to be replaced in 8 years when the street is repaved, right? So we're like, okay, we can work with that.
The city told the group they were removed because they created a hazard. A day later, and Mescal says the sideshows returned.
I just don't understand how that is less of a hazard than having speed bumps, rubber speed bumps.
Councilmember Charlene Wong took over representing the district the day after the removal. The new council member is frustrated residents and her staff weren't warned before the city scrapped the bumps.
Being smart, being resourceful, and the fact that the residents did that, I think that's pretty remarkable.
Wong is working.
Okay, but here's the thing. On the reasonable end of things, what happens is when you give an inch, people will take a mile. All of a sudden, here's the theory. You just start doing stuff without permitting, without permission, and Oakland just goes absolutely sideways. Kind of like all the homeless community. Huh. Oh, yeah. Okay. But we allow the homeless community to do whatever the F they want, but concerned citizens who don't want to have maybe their, families hit by vehicles doing sideshows on a major public arterial. People who don't want that, they get penalized. Make it make sense. It feels like this is all on purpose, doesn't it? It really does. It really does.
With city leaders to install a city-approved option to stop sideshows.
I have not gotten clarity from the director as to why that decision was made. He has concerns around liability, but there's also the liability of already sideshows have returned.
The city claims they're looking into the issue, but were unable to immediately comment on the removal or how they plan to address street safety in the area. Neighbors say they're prepared to bring speed bumps back if the city doesn't act soon. In Oakland, Valina Jones, NBC Bay Area News.
Wild, isn't it? People just taking matters into their own hands left and right because government is failing them. Government is literally failing them. Michael Andesmescal, a San Antonio resident advocate, posted on social media about his frustration with the city for removing the rubber speed bumps. Every night, without fail, stolen cars screamed through the neighborhood, frightening our children, robbing us of sleep, and polluting the air with toxic smoke. The city ignored these issues for several years, so we did something about it. For the past 8 months, our neighborhood was free of sideshows, until the city decided that our streets were safer with sideshows than with these speed bumps. How do they justify that? So you got a speed bump, you got to go slow? Okay. Yeah. It's progressive leadership, isn't it? Just, we can't have that. You just can't think, right? They removed the speed bumps without warning, explanation, or recourse, which is their right to do so. 5 OakDOT employees and 3 truckers were involved in the removal. The removals lasted over 5 hours. When we protested, they called the police. 2 officers showed up but left us in peace. The cops are like, well, they took the speed bumps out and you guys are upset. What exactly do you want us to do? You want us to help you put the speed bumps back? That ain't happening. They removed over $3,000 worth of speed bumps that had kept 5 intersection sideshow free for several months without accidents, without complaints. City is going broke, and this is how OakDOT spends our tax dollars. It's got to be the liability issue. All right, you're a city official. This wreck happened because we had a speed bump here. Car launched off of that wasn't supposed to be there, wasn't officially put in, didn't have right permitting, yada, 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 yada. And now you, Mr. Mayor, you city official, are on the hook for this because you decided to allow this speed bump to remain. They don't want the liability. I get it. But there's got to be another solution here. Fast track that speed bump, right? Rip out those ones, have the city put in theirs. All good. All good. But no, that's not what's going on. Is this the most pressing thing they have to do? Remove speed bumps? Apparently so, because they're not removing homeless encampments. Oh, they are. They removed a big one, but they're just playing whack-a-mole, right? Because those people aren't going anywhere. I mean, they are. They're going 2 blocks down the street, and then they just come right back. There were 35 people killed on International Boulevard over the last 5 years, and our streets are full of potholes. Why don't they address those issues? Well, Oakland's got so many issues, like a lot of big blue Democrat-run progressive cities. I mean, who all has been recalled from Oakland? Mayor Shang Tao, her boyfriend. I mean, just the list goes on and on and on and on, right? Streets Blog reached out to Oakland's Department of Transportation for comments and will update this post. Meanwhile, Sarah Rowley, another advocate who lives in the area, forwarded Streets Blog the following from OCDOT's Jasmine Zamora. Oakland Department of Transportation recently began removing public rubber bumps that residents installed on East 21st and other locations. These installations posed a hazard to the public due to their placement and location, including interfering with bicyclists and motorcyclist paths, as well as vehicle turning movements, creating conflicts and potential hazards. Again, if the residents are okay with that, maybe the city comes in and does something official. OakDOT also began removing dots that residents installed starting at East 19th Street, 18th Avenue. These installations were not authorized or permitted by the city and put residents in potential legal and financial risk. OakDOT has previously notified area residents of the risk and potential danger of unauthorized traffic installation. If the city had a problem with the placement and location, it should have been done the reasonable thing and worked with us to address the issue. That's just not going on, is it? No, you just got a whole bunch of people pissed off, doing their own thing. Unfortunately, that backfires, and their $3,000, their hard-won $3,000, just boop, gets pried up, and they patch it up with, a little bit of asphalt patch. That was an asphalt? This is not a concrete street. Asphalt. District 2 Council member Charlene Wang told NBC Bay Area, "I have not gotten clarity from the director as to why that decision was made." And they're just going to say it's a liability issue. But it's one of those things where you're like, hey, let's watch this video.
My name is Josh Frowen. I'm the Oakland Department of Transportation Director, and we're here to talk about how the city plans to interfere with sideshows all throughout the city, starting here at Seminary at Foothill in front of Sweet Fingers Jamaica. The mayor just basically said, Josh, give these folks some relief, make it happen. That was the directive. And so we started looking at this area, and we know there are two basic approaches: tighten the intersection, disrupt the pavement. And so we had the idea, let's put the plates down. If you drive around and you see utilities working, everybody slows down for plates. Everybody hates plates. So we thought, well, let's see if we can configure.
Plates being those big metal things, and you go, dunk, 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 dunk. They're really annoying, aren't they? You think something's like falling out of the bottom end of your car.
Sideshow activity. These have actually been in place now for about 2.5 months and have provided a good deal of relief. So 4 steel plates and kind of a staggered pattern, all for the purpose of just disrupting the rotational movement of the back end of an automobile. Most people don't even realize it's here. They feel a little bump and they go about their day. Just looking at the pavement, these are the same tire tracks that were here back in July. I don't see a lot of new markings. This has been an effective effort, and it's one that we're actually building upon as we seek to interfere with this activity in additional intersections. I would give us a B+ for this experiment out here. All right, here we are at the intersection of Skyline and Redwood. This is actually a second location with a totally different application. We've used posts and paint to entirely reconfigure the intersection. So the interesting thing is we're very reactive. We don't try to get out in front of the sideshow behavior. We follow them, and their markings actually do the design work for us.
That's so interesting.
Look at the ground, see where they're functioning, and figure out how to best disrupt it. And so that's exactly what we did here. Is we used the markings they left behind to best deter their activity. We're looking now at intersections that have the same level of sideshow activity, and with a goal of 2 to 3 intersections per month, we figure in 2 years' time, if we could take 40 to 50 intersections out of play, that would have a major disruptive influence and impact in Oakland. We don't know where they're going to go or where they're going to turn up, but our belief is that if we put up a good fight, they'll probably go someplace else.
What about arresting people who do sideshows and put them in jail for a long enough period of time where they're not probably going to do that again? What about that? Oh, we can't do that, Sean. It'd be racist. Really? People breaking the law? Can't do that? Okay. All right. No, it's yet again another approach, what we're talking about with the DOT guy there at the end, OakDOT director, Josh Rowland, is trying to outsmart the criminal instead of just dropping the hammer on the criminal with charges and jail time to encourage that individual to no longer do this. Give them a few years. Sideshow, you could kill somebody. What do you get for vehicular murder, right? What do you get for, whatever? Start looking at that. But no, we're not doing that. We're not doing this drill where we're actually taking it to the criminals. We're doing this drill where we're trying to, well, if we do this, maybe they'll just go somewhere else. And then it becomes somebody else's problem. And I get it. You're trying to push them out. Okay. But these people who love to do this with their cars, that's what they're really into. That's what they're really into. They're not going to stop doing this, but they might reconsider if they had to sit their ass in jail for long enough for it to be painful and have it be just a huge, disruption in their life cycle. What'd you do? Well, Sideshow got busted for 10 years. Oh, I'll be eligible in 8 though. Don't worry. I'll get out there. We'll race those cars again. The Sideshow thing, if you're doing that on a track or something, you're doing that somewhere where it's authorized. Okay. But these are never authorized. It's just not an authorized event. That's part of the whole thing. It's an illegal sideshow. People really get off on that. People who have cars that, I'm going to tweak my turbocharger today. We're really going to jack up that aftercooler and make my car just really roll. And then I'm going to do donuts with it. Okay. If you're into cars, that's fine, but you can drive a car in such a way where you're not driving it illegally. I know that's a weird thing to say, but I'm not much of a car guy as far as that goes. And especially when it comes to public safety, if you've got a house that's got a reputation being in an area where there's sideshows, then you've got a house in an area with a reputation for criminal activity, and people pay less for those, and it's harder to sell, and your marketing time takes longer because you've got a home in an area with criminal activity. And the more criminal activity you've got, the less likelihood it's going to sell. And it sells for less money. That's reality. So that's where I come to the table with just public safety ideas. So I'm okay with the citizens putting these down. But then again, you got to look from the city standpoint. They need to put something that's legal in there. So why don't they go ahead and do it? They're too busy taking out homeless encampments. Circle just keeps on a-going. Podcasts for days, weeks, months, years. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Hit the like button for this video. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks again for being here. We'll catch up soon. Bye for now.